Yo, you ever said to yourself, I would love to do that, but it's just too late. I'm already doing this other job. Or maybe you've said to yourself, if you're trying to save money, I'll never get ahead. I'm 35 years old. I can't get started now. Guess what? Those things you're saying to yourself are absolute lies. Yeah, they're not true at all. It's never too late to start. Today on the Legacy Podcast, we're talking about the most important things to keep in mind in getting your mind shifted correct to realize it's never too late to start. So make sure before we go anywhere and get started, right now you subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, you follow, and make sure you share this podcast right now, either on YouTube and video, or if you're listening, make sure you share this podcast with a friend who has said, it's just too late. I can't get started. Guess what? You're wrong. We're getting started today on the Legacy Podcast. We're turning dreamers into doers with your winning coach, Kinsley Jordan on Legacy. Welcome back to your favorite podcast where we encourage you to crush your goals, ignite your dreams, and forge a legacy in your life. And dude, oh my gosh, I gotta be honest. Yesterday, we were supposed to shoot this episode and it just was not working out. And I had a conversation with a couple people that literally was the inspiration for this because I heard the same things coming out of their mouth that, it was heartbreaking to hear them say this. You know, we were talking specifically about finances with this specific person. And we were talking about finances and they were an older gentleman, not an older gentleman, they were about my age. So I guess that makes me old. Shut your mouth. I didn't ask you. They said this thing that, man, it's, you know, I should have more money saved than I have, but I don't. Isn't it too late? You know, shouldn't I just kind of accept that this is what it is that I'm going to have to work for a while? What? What? Why would you say that? Why would you do that? No, it's never too late. Oh my gosh. Slap yourself. No, it's never too late. Ever, ever, ever. But you know what? So many times people convince themselves that it's too late to get started in either their career, it's too late to get started in going after a career that they're really excited about. Sometimes people say, you know, it's too late to really start saving money. I'm never going to make the same amount of money that I would have if I'd started saving at 18. Okay, the only thing that means is you may not be making the money in the way that you would have made it if you'd started at 18. But it doesn't mean you're not going to be able to start a business or create an avenue for you to be able to make the income you want. So many times we convince ourselves something is true, but nobody has actually told us that. We've told ourselves. Guess what? Sometimes yourself lies to you. Yeah. Let me ask you this. How many times have you told yourself, I just don't know if I can do it. It's going to be too hard. I'm not going to be capable of, I don't have the connections. You know, I wasn't raised in a wealthy family. I don't have the money to start that. Has anybody actually from the outside walked in and told you that? No, most of the time, these are thoughts that we have in our own mind. And those thoughts that we have in our own mind don't actually have any power to prevent us, except they will convince us not to start moving towards the goal that we have. And then we end up telling ourselves, well, it's too late. I'll never be able to go after my dream and accomplish my dream. If you don't believe me, let me use a couple examples that you do know. Dave Ramsey. Okay, we all know who Dave Ramsey is. We all know that Dave Ramsey has probably the best example as a person and as a business of turning his entire life around. In case you didn't know this, there's a couple facts about Dave Ramsey you probably didn't realize. Because, you know, everybody knows about Financial Peace University, and going through and getting yourself out of debt, using money to be the capital you need to be able to propel you to the dreams. But did you realize that he went bankrupt? Yeah, I'm not talking just like slightly bankrupt. Here, there's some really important, really interesting facts about his life. At age 26, Dave Ramsey was bringing home $250,000 a year. That was his pay. And he had a $4 million estate portfolio. 2 years later, at age 28, he lost everything. Everything. You want to talk about, like, for some of us right now, we're listening to this and we've not yet started. Can you imagine having everything, having a $4 million estate portfolio, making $250,000 a year, and then having all of that go away? You think you feel like quitting now? Imagine that feeling. It forced him to have to declare bankruptcy so that he wouldn't lose everything. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with how bankruptcy works, but essentially it's kind of like a safe hold to say, you know what, I'm not able to pay on the things that I'm able to pay on. I'm in a bad place. At least allow me to have a house and car to be able to have a livelihood. Give me the minimum basics, and everything else is going to be taken. He had to declare bankruptcy. This dude had a $4 million estate. He had a great job making $250,000 a year. And what is he doing now? Imagine if Dave Ramsey had the mindset that you have had sometimes in your life of saying it's too late for me to get started. This dude was having to start his life over again at basically age 34 because bankruptcy is with you for a very long time. I think, I can't remember if it's 6 or 8 years, but bankruptcy goes with you for a while before you're able to start making over a certain amount of money. He had to basically start over and look at the empire that he has been able to build through a financial piece of encouraging people to not quit, encouraging people that all it takes is one little baby step to move out of a place of can't and into a place of can. I'm going to say that again, just in case you missed it. In order to go from a place of I can do this, I cannot do this, the mindset you have, if you're saying to yourself, I can't do it, in order to go from the place of I can't into the place of I can, it's only the shift of a mindset. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing anybody else can do. There's nothing your mama can do. There's nothing your grandma can do. I mean, grandma can be a saint, but she's not going to be able to change your mind if in your mind you've convinced yourself that you cannot do it. It's never too late to get started. It's never too late to take the first step. You just have to get focused in on what it is that you want to do, get focused in on where you want to go, and start moving in that direction. And I hope this is an encouragement to you today because there's so many times people, a second conversation I had last night, I was at a women's ministry night because I was leading worship for it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the women's ministry is awesome, but I'm not a woman. So what was I doing there? But I had this conversation with somebody else that they again said, I'll be part of this thing that you're asking me to be part of, but I'm never going to be a leader of it. And I was like, interesting, because I do enjoy the never word. I do enjoy that a lot. When people say I'm never going to do something, it just gets me going. They said, I'm never going to be a leader. I'm never going to do this thing. And I said, why is that? They said, well, I couldn't do it. Specifically, I was talking about this leadership position. And they said, there's too many eyes, too many people looking at you. What happens if you screw up? And I asked them this question. Have you ever screwed up in your life? And they said, well, yeah, I screw up all the time. Okay. So what's the difference if you screw up in the leadership position as opposed to just screwing up on your own? Well, people are going to make fun of me. They're going to judge me. I have the potential to look like a fool on the stage on the platform in front of everyone. To which my next question was, in 2 years, 95% of those people are going to be out of your life and you won't talk to them more than once every month. Why do you care what they think? Am I the only one in here that was like a life-changing statement? Why do you care what the people think? Most of the people in your life, think about the friends that you had in high school. How many of those people do you talk to on a daily basis? I mean, my closest friend, we talk maybe once a month, if that, because life is busy. We live in different locations. We have different jobs. We even have the same interests and we don't even have the chance to talk that much. Most of the people I'm surrounded by are the people that I do life with. So why in the world would you allow people who have no influence, no impact, no impetus upon your life to impact and change your ability to move forward to what you want to do? So many times we allow people, opinions, comments to stop us from moving forward. That is the silliest thing we could ever do. And for whatever reason, we listen to those statements. And then because we have listened to those statements in our mind, we tell ourselves, it's too late. I'm never going to be able to do it. I'm not going to be able to accomplish this goal. I don't have the brains. I don't have the ability. That's absolute, total, and complete lie. It is never, I'll say it again for you. If there's one thing you got to take away from today, it's this. It is never too late to get started. It's never too late to start. You just have to get moving in the direction. So when we come back from break right now, we're going to talk about the 3 most important things that your winning coach, that's me, Kinsley Jordan, the 3 most important things you have to keep in mind and that you need to do in moving forward and getting started. I'm telling you, it's a very simple process, but the biggest thing you have to do, it's a mental game. You've got to be able to take captive your thoughts and say, you know what? I can do it. You've got to get out of the can't mindset and into the can mindset. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in a place where you will never be able to accomplish what you want, because not because you don't have the ability, but because you are allowing that to convince you not to get started. So right now, stay with us on the Legacy Podcast. We're talking the 3 most important things you got to keep in mind to get started today, because it's never too late to start. Right here with your winning coach, Kinsley Jordan, on Legacy Podcast. Yo, thanks for watching the Legacy Podcast right here with your winning coach, Kinsley Jordan. And if you don't want to miss out on the awesome content we have for you each and every week, then make sure you hit the subscribe button right over there and the bell to get the notifications every time we got a new episode just for you. Don't forget to hit it. Also, if you want to follow along with me, make sure that you follow along on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Kinsley Jordan as I push out new content each and every day to make sure that you're staying encouraged to crush your goals, ignite your dreams, and forge a legacy in your life. Which brings me to the point. If you're looking for a performance coach to help you not only build healthy habits in your life, but really draw out a plan of connecting you to your passion for a purpose to create fulfillment in your life, then don't miss out for the chance for me and my team to be your performance coach. You can go to www.kinsleyjordan.com, get signed up right now, and we will reach out to you for a free, yeah, I said it, free consultation to be able to determine how we can get you very quickly and very soon on your path to high-performing success in your life. Stay tuned. We're going right back to the Legacy Podcast. Yes, welcome back to your first step to success. It's so glad to have you right here on the Legacy Podcast as we're diving into. Previously, we've talked about the logic train that is absolute flawed and doesn't do you any good to try to convince yourself that it's too late to get started. Whether you're trying to save money, whether you're trying to get focused on a career, whether you're trying to get connected to an environment that's going to propel you forward, whatever it is, it's never too late to get started. You have to get that through your mind right now. So many times we allow outside factors to become an internal factor to us, but nobody is actually stopping us from succeeding. Nobody is actually stopping us from moving forward. So today, the 3 things that are most important that you have to remember are this. The first one is focus. You've got to focus in on what it is you want to accomplish. You know, this is something I really had a hard time with initially when I was starting this podcast and starting my business, is because if you go to my website, kinsleyjordan.com, you'll see that I play a lot of different roles in my life. You know, I'm a father, I'm a businessman, I'm a worship pastor, I'm an instructor pilot in the Air Force. There's a lot of different capacities I serve in, and it was actually kind of difficult for me to focus and say, what business am I going to start? What is the thing that truly drives me? What is the thing that truly encourages me every day to move forward and help people? And that's why I started the Legacy Podcast and the Winning Network, is because I love connecting people to their passion for a purpose to create fulfillment in their life. That's why I started the Legacy Podcast specifically, is because we focus on crushing your goals, igniting your dreams, and forging a legacy in your life. You've heard me say this time and time again. But the hardest part for anybody, oftentimes in getting started, is focusing on what specifically are they going to do? What specifically is it that you want to dive into and get started with? A lot of times there's a lot of great things we're involved with, but we don't actually hone in and say, okay, in order for me to succeed, I'm going to need to focus on this specific thing. So we'll go back to the example of money, right? Because a lot of people, you know, we should all be saving money. We should all be putting money back into investments, into either a mutual fund, or if you want to get into stocks, or even a savings account. Just get started with a savings account. But even with that, let's just focus on that. One of the things I hear most of the time, specifically talking about money, is people say, I don't understand it. You know, should I do a savings account? Should I do a mutual fund? Do I do stocks? How do you know what stocks to buy? I don't understand the market. There's so many things I don't understand. We don't understand because we've never taken the time to focus and learn about it. The very first step in getting started, in realizing that it's never too late to start, is this. Find the thing, focus in on it. Find the thing that you're wanting to learn about and learn about it. Find the thing that you're wanting to get started in and learn about it. For example, as you watch this video, this specific video, unless this goes viral, which I have full faith it's going to, thank you, Jesus. This video is probably going to get an average in this time of 150 views within the first 2 weeks. That's kind of what we've been averaging. Considering right now at this second we have 111 subscribers and now 112, 13, 14, hit the subscribe button. Good job. The subscribers we have, that's pretty much what we have. So for me, one of the goals that I had is I want to be able to reach more people and help people focus in on these things that we talk about today of getting started. How do we do that? So my focus area of honing in from all of these other things I could look at, and all these other things that I could focus on in regards to how to build a good podcast and how to build a good YouTube channel. One of the things I focused in on is specifically, how do you market to people? How do I make sure that when I give a title of this specific video, that it's going to actually get and reach into your hands? How are you going to be able to search for this and find it if you just go to YouTube, or if you go to Apple Podcast or anywhere? You have to focus in on what it is you're wanting to accomplish. So many times we have a job, we have kids, we have friends, we have sports, we have activities that we do. But when you really say, hey, what is it that you're trying to accomplish? A lot of people just kind of give you the RCA dog look. You know what I'm talking about? That one. Because they don't understand. They don't have a focus area of what they're trying to actually accomplish. Step number 1, in order to actually get started and realize it's never too late to start, the first thing you have to do is focus in on what it is you're wanting to accomplish. Focus in on what it is that you're wanting to learn, and focus in on what it is that you're wanting to get started. And then write it down. Write it down, whether you're a digital person and you want to put it in your phone, or whether you want to actually write it out in a journal. Hey, I'm a very eclectic person. I love writing things down in pen. I love calligraphy. I love all that stuff. The wax stamp, I love it. It's awesome. But I also put a lot of things on my phone as well if it's a quick note that I need to. So whether you're digital, whether you're analog, write that area of focus down. And then the next step is this. Identify and find out who is doing what you want to do. Who are the people who are right now doing the things that you want to accomplish in your area of focus? So again, I'll go back to my example. You know, there's several people, one specific, her name is Vanessa on YouTube. I'll put the associated channel below. She's a person I follow because or subscribe to on YouTube, because she's done a phenomenal job of growing her channel. In the first year, I think she went from like 5 subscribers to 100,000, which is just insane. And it's not about the number of subscribers, but it's looking at, if you're trying to market a video on YouTube really well, then you want to be able to learn from the people who have done it. The second step in this process of getting started and realizing it's never too late to get started is identify who are the people who are accomplishing the things that you want to accomplish. Learn from them. If it's somebody in your local area that you can actually go ask him to go to coffee, sit down and have coffee with him and ask him, how do you do what you're doing? I just met a gentleman this last week. The guy is a serial entrepreneur. This guy has more money than he knows to do with. And I love it because he's constantly pouring into people. He's constantly giving. He's constantly encouraging and investing into people. But one of the things I love the most about him is just hearing his stories, just hearing his mindset, how he learned, how he got into the business he got into. If you don't have an area of focus, which is step number 1, and you don't ask yourself, who's accomplishing the things that I want to accomplish, then you're just shooting in the dark. Like, let me ask you this. If you've never flown a plane, how are you going to learn to fly a plane? You're going to find somebody who knows how to fly a plane and ask them to teach you. Why is this any different? If you want to get started in an area or a focus area, or you have goals that you want to reach, and you've previously told yourself that I'll never be able to accomplish it, then why don't you get yourself around people who do know how to accomplish it? Because they've done it before. It's really, really pretty simple. The next part of that question of step number 2 is this. What must be true? You know, this sounds eerily familiar to the things we talked about before, where we actually say, you know, the 3 steps to how I plan how to move forward. What does success look like? What must be true, and what are my first 3 steps? Well, the second step is very close to that. Not only if we're asking ourselves, who is doing what I want to do, then I have to ask myself, what do I have to accomplish in order to be like them? That kind of builds out your steps. So step number 1 is focus in on the area that you want to get started in, right? Step number 2, ask yourself, who are the people that are doing the things that I want to be doing in this area of focus, and what is it that they're doing? And step number 3 is really simple. What are my first 3 steps to doing it? What are the first 3 things that I need to do in order to start moving down this path? You know, going back to the finance example, if you don't know how to invest money, if you're not saving $1, like not even a penny, I don't even have a penny in the drawer because I've spent it. All I got is negative in my bank account. Guess what? It's never too late for you to start saving money. Why? Is because in this moment, if you have that mental shift over, like we talked about in the first part, All you have to do is focus in and say, you know what? I want to focus on learning about money and how to save money and the benefits of it. I want to find somebody who knows what they're doing with money. I'm going to ask questions and I'm going to learn from them. And then I'm going to take my first couple steps. And I'll tell you, one of the very first steps, if specifically you're wanting to save money, is setting a budget. Look at how much money you make right now and what your expenditures are and how much money is going out. Here's the easiest part about saving money. If you have more money that's coming in than is going out, then you can save money. It's really that easy. That's it. That's it. Nick, that's a wrap. Literally, we just solved world hunger. That was really easy. If you have more money coming in than you have going out, then you're going to have a surplus, right? Yeah, it's that simple. So your first step in that is to set that money that you have a surplus of and put it into the bank and put it into a mutual fund and put it into somewhere that's going to start making money for you by it just literally sitting there doing, nothing besides making you money. That's the third step, is figure out what those first couple of steps are that you actually need to take. Okay, so we talked about a lot today. We talked about having the mindset of, oh man, it's just too late. It's never too late to get started. Tell yourself that with me right now. Come on, all together, class. Let's say it. It's never too late to start. It's never too late to start. Get started today. And you do that by doing these 3 simple things. 1, focus on the area that you want to get started. If you want to learn piano, okay, learn piano. That's your area of focus. The second step is find out who's doing that. Find a piano teacher, somebody who can teach you. And the third step is, what is identifying what are my first 3 steps to do. Yeah, you just identified it. Find a piano teacher for yourself, set the money back to be able to do it, and set time to be able to sit down and commit to learning. It's that simple right now. If you're listening to this and you wanted to start learning piano, congratulations. I just built your plan for you. It's literally that simple. It doesn't have to be something exactly like that. Maybe you're talking about being a doctor. Maybe you're talking about doing a complete and total career change. Those are opportunities for you to get a fresh start, as long as you don't convince yourself that it's too late to start. Because guys, friends, ladies, gentlemen, kids, dogs, cats, whoever is listening, it's never too late to get started. Ever. One of the things you can also do and also use, and this is really why I started the business of the Winning Network and being your winning coach, is that sometimes we need a little extra help. I mean, it's honest. Sometimes we need somebody who's motivated to be able to encourage us, to be able to pour into us and help us walk through the direction. If you're looking for that specifically, me and my team would love to work with you and connect with you. I would love to be your winning coach. And the Winning Network, which is my business that focuses specifically on creating a performance ecosystem that encourages you and pours into you and builds you and helps to build you a network to create steps to your success. If you're interested in that, do me a favor. Go to my website, kinsleyjordan.com, scroll all the way to the bottom and just enter in your email. And when you do that, you're going to send me a form saying, I'm interested in performance coaching, and I will get back to you within 24 hours. It's just one more step to being able to help you get connected to your goals and realize it's never too late to get started. So thank you so much for being with us today on the Legacy Podcast. Make sure you subscribe right over there. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you share this episode. Hopefully it's been encouraging to you. And if you will you be an advocate with me of just sharing this message, not only the message of positivity, but most importantly, the message of encouraging people to crush their goals, ignite their dreams, and forge a legacy in their life? Because guess what? You are just one step away from your destiny, from your future. All you got to do is take the step. And you're never too late to get started. Thanks for being with us right here on the Legacy Podcast. Make sure you stay with us, and we'll check you guys later.